Good Friday afternoon, everyone. We got a little bit of a different show going on today due to the festivities of homecoming around here. We're streaming live right now on livestream.com/FSU Weather here at the 2 o'clock hour.
That's right. So we have a replay at 6 o'clock, which is going to be happening on television. And so those current conditions will be relevant for 2 and for 6. They won't be up to date there, but we still have the forecast for you there.
Yep, we'll have the forecast all the same, but for now, I'm student meteorologist Matthew Reagan.
And I'm student meteorologist Daniel McFarland.
And I hope you're enjoying that cool weather. We saw a cool front pass through our area, really, I think, surprising quite a few people.
That's right. I woke up this morning. It was a lot cooler than I figured it would be, because I know yesterday felt really good. You had temperatures starting to come back up. And then now I woke up today, just like, it's back in the 50s.
That's right. Well, we're back to the 50s. The cool weather's back. We saw that moisture in the atmosphere a little bit yesterday, made it feel a little bit warmer outside, but now things have dried off quite a bit with the passage of that front.
That's right, and believe it or not, we have another front coming up in the next week, but we'll get to that a little bit later on.
Yeah, right now it's turning into the front train here, which is kind of how it goes this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we just have one like a week ago, and then we had this one pass through last night, and now we have another one, so it's just...
Yeah.
Just getting out of control.
Winter's knocking on the door with all those fronts coming through. I'm enjoying the weather. It's really beautiful out. When it gets a little too cold, that's when it's a little unbearable.
Yeah, you know what they say, winter is coming.
Yeah, that's for sure. Winter is on its way. But for now, we're going to go ahead and see what's going on in the show, sending it out to Shane.
Thanks, guys. Well, true to what you said, we do have a front train. There's that first front sliding on out of there. That's those clouds over South Florida. And we've got a bit of rain over there in Texas that might be affecting our weather this weekend too. Stay tuned to find out just how. And here's a look at what the winds are going to do over the next several hours. They're going to shift to remain out of the north, more from the northwest. And this is exactly what we expect a day after the passage of a cold front. And also exactly what we expect, those deeper shades of blue inching their way south on the map towards Quincy and to the capital city here. Those indicate that cooler air that is coming our way will be dropping the temperatures again overnight. But now as for the outline of the show, we've got a cool day for homecoming if you find not getting into the 70s to constitute cool. Personally, I find it very comfortable. Chilly mornings ahead and sunny skies. As for tonight, there are going to be clear skies again. The wind is going to be calm, and the combination of those two effects will give us a chilly low of 39 degrees. Guys?
All right, thank you so much, Shane. It's cool to see that the cooler weather is back, and we got a really nice looking homecoming forecast.
Definitely, but we see 39, we think that's freezing to us. But what's going on with Alaska right now? They're seeing a superstorm up there, aren't they?
Yeah, Alaska's getting quite a bit of a punch right now from, it was Super Typhoon Nuri over in the Western Pacific, and now it's merged with a system up in Alaska bringing quite a bit of a storm in the Bering Sea.
Yeah, believe it or not, some models actually have their pressure at 924 millibars, if you believe that, which would break records in plenty of places.
Mm-hmm. We were also seeing reports out of the Anchorage National Weather Service. They're predicting 90-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts in Anchorage.
Wow, that's hurricane weather right there for them. So
yeah,
it's crazy for them to see that.
You're right, that is hurricane weather, and even waves we're seeing possibly up to 40 feet in the Bering Sea.
I talk about surfing a lot on this show, but 40-foot waves in freezing cold water does not sound very pleasant to me.
No, not at all, but that's Alaska, so why don't you tell us what's going on around here?
Yeah, we're going to take a look right around here. Look at our satellite and radar starting at 2 a.m. We're not seeing a whole lot of clouds at our time now, but you saw that it was overnight. We had a good bit there, and right now we're clearing up just in time for the parade. Here, our time it's just starting at 2 o'clock, so make sure you get out there as soon as the show is over. Our current conditions right now, as of 2 p.m., we're seeing 64 degrees. Nice, clear conditions, real nice outside. So still need a light jacket for these kind of conditions. You see that humidity and dew point both are at 37. So we're pretty dry right now as well. Well, if you plan on heading out to the beach tomorrow before the game, you can see there's not going to be too much surf out there. The water temperature, though, is still in the upper 70s, about 76, 77. So it is worth jumping in the water, see some, have some fun out there before the game starts. And UV index is still high, it's still at 6, but it will be sunny. We'll be expecting that to be the same for the next few days or so. Well, for out in the water, if you plan on taking out a boat and bringing out a radio and listening to the game, waves out there are going to be 2 to 3 feet, pretty typical out there. Protected waters, though, smooth, and it'll get a little bit choppier as the day goes on with those winds you see coming out of the east, 5 to 10 knots. So you see also sunset at 6:50, so make sure you get back before then. Well, here's what we got going on right now. We're sitting real cool. We got this high pressure sitting over there. It's feeding us really nothing because that's what high pressure does. It doesn't really bring us any weather at all. Well, we'll go ahead and sit this back up. no clouds, anything for us. We do have these little bit of clouds coming up from the Gulf, remnants of Vance right there, giving us a little bit of clouds into Saturday night and potentially some rain into Sunday. Not too terribly giant chance there because this cold front's going to come through, giving us some more weather, pushing all that out of the way. Nothing but clear skies behind that, so not too much to worry about there. Well, tonight we talked about that low of 39. It'll be clearing up. Really chilly temperatures. If you plan on going out tonight, 39, not really that great. Thankfully, the winds are calm, though, so you're going to be seeing, you know, if you're out there, all you're going to feel is 39. There's not going to be much of a wind chill at all. Now we'll go ahead and look into tomorrow, 68, pretty similar to today. You got cool afternoon, so if you're going out to the game tomorrow, really, you got to bring a jacket with you because that's going to be shooting down by game time because, you know, the game starts at 6, which means you probably won't be done and out of there until about 10 p.m. By then, we could expect it to be in the upper 40s, maybe even the mid-40s by that point. And as we get into the rest of the week, we're going to have, like I said, that low of 39. The remnants of Vance could push up some showers into Sunday. Monday, you got 75 degrees, no chance of rain there, and we got some clouds coming our way over the next week or so. You got 10% chance of rain there. You know, not too terribly much going on. We got, you know, temperatures hanging right around the 70s, not too big a change there. But thankfully, we got, you know, those temperatures coming up into the 70s again. Christina, what else we got going on?
Well, I'm going to be talking about the southeast, and before I get started with the graphics, I'm actually going to go ahead and tell you that they tell a very clear story. Looking at our current conditions, we see that, those temperatures in the southeast, north of us, and even Tallahassee included, are sitting in the mid-60s, and Montgomery is 60 degrees with 50s even farther north than that, with Miami sitting at a very comfortable 84 degrees and Key West 81 degrees. So there's a cold front that has actually passed through yesterday, and we see with those temperature gradients the same sort of thing. Now with dew point, and that's a measure of the moisture in the air, we see the same sort of gradient where we see the cold front where it has been and where it has yet to go. 37 degrees is our dew point here in Tallahassee, 53 in Orlando, so we see that huge difference, and that's because of that cold front passage. Now if we look at the water vapor map, it's going to show a similar story, the orange representing the dry air, the greens representing the moist air, and we see that dry air just coming on and just enveloping Florida almost completely, and so that's going to be the story for the remainder of the weekend. Now with satellite and radar, it's the same thing, same sort of story. You see the clouds associated with the cold front have pushed through our area, and they're out into the Atlantic Ocean now, bringing clear skies to Florida for the most part. Now winds are coming out of the north and northwest, actually. Tallahassee at 3 mile per hour winds right now. They're calmer than they have been for the last couple of hours, but still those winds are going to pick up as the cold front continues to move on out. Now with the futurecast, we are going to be looking at the temperatures going into this weekend. Tonight at 8 o'clock, if you're going to powwow, it's going to be 52 degrees. You might want to bring a jacket if you're going to be standing outside for that kind of weather. And same sort of story for the entire southeast region, 40s in some of our more northern places. Now as we move this into motion for tomorrow morning, our low is going to be 39 degrees in Tallahassee, and as the blue just kind of invades into our area, we're going to see those cooler temperatures. So if you have an early start for your Saturday morning, make sure that you have a jacket. Moving this into motion for tomorrow afternoon, 57 degrees at 5 o'clock. Notice that that is right soon after the gates open for the football game. So we are going to be seeing temperatures in the 50s for the remainder of the football game, and 40 degrees for your Sunday low. Now, like I said, tonight's forecast, low of 39 for Tallahassee, Montgomery sitting at 36. Tomorrow, same sort of story as today, high for Tallahassee, 68 degrees, and a similar story, Atlanta, 62 degrees. Now, guys, tell us about the cold air implications of Tropical Storm Nuri.
Well, you know, we have that Tropical Storm Nuri up there, but believe it or not, it is going to affect us in our area as well, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of storms across the world and actually end up impacting our weather here. It's going to bring a lot of energy into the troughing systems, which bring us our cold fronts and could make our temperatures take a dive into later next week.
That's right. We know when systems get up in the north, everything really just kind of tends to move its way down. And so when we have a storm coming in like that, a big storm going up towards what feeds us a lot of that winter weather, that we're going to have a front come in and affect us.
Yeah, absolutely. But to take a broader look at what's going on in, actually for now, we're going to talk a little bit more about the implications that this cool weather could have. Actually, why don't you tell us a little bit more what's going on in the rest of the country?
Yeah, I'll do that. You see these 24-hour temperature change. It's pretty weird looking. You see we're down 14 degrees from where we were yesterday, and the whole country is just cooler except for the middle there. You see Kansas City hanging at plus 11 from where they were, but the rest of the country's all gotten a lot lower. You see New Orleans also is down 13. We go back over to the East Coast here. Miami's plus 3 down there, but they're really the only one on the East Coast seeing any kind of plus at all. You see Atlanta is minus 12, Memphis minus 8 there, and on the West Coast, well, they see that rain, so they always see some kind of 24-hour temperature drop. For current conditions, seeing clouds all around the country except for our area in Tallahassee. You see that we do have sunny skies there along with Memphis, but if you look out to our west, they're starting to see clouds come up, and that's because of some systems we have moving in. Also that front that we have that will be affecting us over the next week or so. Check out the front of the water vapor. You see this one right here, which is going to come on and hit us in the next couple days, and you see this one well defined, just came off the coast there, and they got a bunch of dry air behind it, which is in our area right now. As you can see, all that orange right there. And so that's where we are at 2 o'clock, and it'll be hanging out there through tomorrow. As far as the satellite and radar goes, not really a whole lot going on in the south, but you see that Minneapolis is getting some rain and some snow up there. As we go ahead and zoom in on Maine and let you know what's happening there, they have some snow up near the Canadian border right there. We got lots of rain too. We got even some snow in Vermont and New Hampshire there, a lot mixed with some rain, so it's really messy, a lot of mix. So not sounding really fun for them. As we move all the way down to the bottom half next to our neighbors in the south, there's some rain there too. Right in the Corpus Christi area, they're seeing some showers moving in and out. Along, they're going to have more rain coming out from Mexico into lower Texas there. A little broad look up in Minneapolis again. You see the rain right about there, and we also have some mix right behind the name, if you can see that. So that's really, really ugly conditions for them. Hope that they drive safe at this time. Well, watches and warnings. Not really a whole lot to talk about in our area. Some freeze warnings up there in Montana. That's really about it to talk about. Tonight's forecast, we're at 39 for Tallahassee. Same for Atlanta, so you can expect the southeast to be all about the same. Miami, the lucky ones, they're only seeing 68, seeing a lot nicer conditions for them. San Antonio and Dallas, they're seeing in those upper 40s. Still better than us, but as we're going to go ahead and look into tomorrow, we're going to see 68 for us, 82, again, very lucky in Miami. Phoenix seeing 85. 71 in San Francisco, and for now we're going to take a look with the tropics with Casey.
Excellent. We're going to take a look at your local forecast, and as we do so, we see the weather conditions here on that almanac, and we see that this morning our sun rose at 6:57. That sunset tonight is going to be at 5:45 p.m. and tomorrow as well, of course, across the Big Bend region. That moon phase still pretty much in the full mode. Now, kind of go ahead and taking a look at those current conditions right now as of 2:15, the temperature was 66 degrees, clear weather across our Big Bend region. It was pretty nice out there at that hour. Not too big of a concern, just really a nice day across our Big Bend region. And those temperatures were sitting at 66 in Tallahassee, 66 in Quincy, same with Bainbridge as well. Just a nice day here across our Big Bend region and southwest Georgia. Now, those current winds as of 2:15 this afternoon, again, they weren't too big of a factor. A little nice breeze really moving across the area. Now, satellite and radar across our viewing circle does show that there were some clouds a little bit earlier and last night associated with the cool front that has since passed through. It did give us a few showers across some of our counties here. Leon County here on campus, we picked up just a little bit of rain, but not too much of a factor, not too much of a hindrance in your commute. But as we kind of get into that forecast, take a look at what's ahead, we do see that we're going to have a nice cool evening across the area. Maybe a little bit cool enough where you might need a jacket, but pretty nice weather for powwow. Going out to that this evening. And as we get into later tonight and tomorrow, high pressure is in control, but that's going to start to change as we watch the remnants advance in the Gulf of Mexico kind of get a little bit closer to our viewing circle later on Saturday. Those remnant advance will be to the south of Tallahassee. Not too much rain really expected here. Just a really nice game day for the homecoming game for that FSU does play against Virginia. But later on Saturday, we could see a few showers have an impact on your commute. Now, as we take a look at your sunrise, or your sunrise, and taking a look at the beach as well, we do see the UV index pretty low. Still may want to take some sunscreen out, though, if you're going to the beach. The water temperature also getting a little bit lower here, but still a pretty nice beach day here in the viewing circle if you don't head to the game. Now, jacket weather is in store tonight. Clear skies, really nice weather here on your Saturday and on your Friday evening as well. 39 degrees expected tonight here, same with some of our counties to our north and west. Coastal areas with that water temperature will be a little bit warmer. The water temperature keeping those temperatures a little bit warmer. 43 in St. Mark's and 47 in Carabel. And Saturday we're expecting 68 degrees. A pretty nice day here across your area for that game. Again, temperature 68 degrees. They will start to warm up here over the next few days, and time for Veterans Day as well. But right now we'll go ahead and take it back over to the desk with Christina and Shane.
Thanks, Casey. Now, speaking of cooler temperatures, Christina, did you know Atlanta's not even going to get to 50 degrees this week?
Yes, I did actually, and it's actually because of this Arctic blast of cold air that's coming, and Daniel and Matt talked about it a little bit earlier in the show, if you guys were tuned into that, and it's bringing out of season cooler temperatures to almost the entire United States, with the exception of Southwest United States. But Atlanta's struggling to get to 50 degrees for several days next week, and there are even some implications for North Florida.
Yes. Our temperatures, while not quite so significant all the way into the 40s all day long, we could see departures from normal of up to 13 degrees. Now, from the mid-70s, that means mid to lower 60s, so not ridiculously cold, but unusually cold for this time of year.
It's going to be a weekend a lot like this weekend where we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the 60s. So, but for a more current look at what's going on in Florida, we're going to send it out to Matt.
All right, guys, thank you so much. It's homecoming here in Tallahassee, but what's going on across the rest of the state? So here's what we got on satellite and radar. We see that cold front that just passed through our area right here pretty clearly on sat and radar. And then a little bit over here, we see those remnants of vents that could impact later on in the weekend. We'll get to that in just a minute. But water vapor really shows the tail of the front. And the tail of the front, if you want to call it that. You see that dry air starting to push in past this moisture, indicative by this orange right here. And then that green starting to push down into the southern part of the peninsula. Current winds behind the front are primarily from the north, so we see those winds shifting behind it. 3 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, it's at 8 miles per hour as well. And then ahead of the front, you see those winds a little bit less consistent. This really shows a lot of the story as well with those current temperature conditions. You can see the state's pretty much cut right in half right here at Orlando northward. You see those cooler and sunny conditions with the passage of that front. And then the dew point also shows that difference between the cooler and drier conditions as well between those moisture that is ahead of that front. Down here in South Florida, we're seeing dew points up in the mid to upper 60s, and then northwards, we see it really dry and really cool at 37 degrees. So the 24-hour temperature change really clearly shows where that front passed. We're 14 degrees cooler here in Tallahassee than we were at this time yesterday. And then the futurecast rainfall does show quite a bit of a story moving on into the weekend. We see down here in parts of South Florida and Central Florida, the remnants of vents are going to be impacting the state and possibly providing upwards of 1 inch of rain in that area. Maybe just a few sprinkles here in Tallahassee, but nothing too crazy to talk about. Let's take you on a tour of the radar. Nothing going on right now in Tallahassee. We're clear and dry, but as we push down the state, we're seeing here in Central Florida and a part of the Space Coast, we actually see some rip current statements. So definitely be swimming near a lifeguard if you are taking a trip out to the beach here on the Space Coast. And then down in South Florida, we see quite clear conditions for now. Nothing too spotty on the radar right now. But later on into the weekend, we could start to see some storms push in from that low pressure that could be impacting as well. Now we're going to go ahead and zoom out once more to take a look at tonight's forecast. 67, 60s in South Florida, and then up here, we're the cool spot here at 39 degrees. So definitely bring out those jackets and those winter coats because you might need it tonight. And then we're pushing on into tomorrow. 80s down in South Florida. You're feeling warm and humid. You're feeling a little tropical down there. I'm from South Florida and I know this weather, But up here, it's feeling really comfortable and really nice. But for now, we're going to give it over to Casey, who's going to tell us just a little bit what's going on elsewhere in the world.
That's right. Thanks so much, Matthew. And as we do so, we'll take a look at your tropics. And that situation is shown pretty nicely here as we take a look at Alaska. We're talking about the remnants of Super Typhoon Nuri. This affecting areas around Anchorage, Alaska there. Also Juneau, Alaska as well. And this area has been giving them some very gusty winds and some rain and snow conditions there in parts of southern Alaska as well. Now, Vance, that's going to actually have an impact on our weather, as we've been mentioning. This was a storm in the eastern Pacific. It's now, though, going to be affecting us in at least a little bit. It's a weak low pressure area, so not too big of an effect. But we at least could get a few showers from that later Saturday night and into Sunday here across our area. Temperature to the 220, they were sitting nice, really nice conditions here across our viewing circle from Monticello to Tallahassee to Panama City, all the way up to Albany, really nice and sunny, temperatures in the mid-60s. Now your temperature changes over the last 24 hours. We do see that those temperatures really have cooled down here across our area. We're sitting about 15 degrees cooler than last night here across our area, 14 degrees cooler in Tallahassee. Same with Valdosta, Albany as of 2 o'clock today versus 2 o'clock yesterday. Nicer, cooler conditions here across the tri-state. Now, the Futurecast does show the weather situation very nicely. We do see high pressure here across our area. Cool conditions, in fact, are moving in tonight. If you're going out to Powell, make sure you take a jacket. It could be a little bit on the cool side out there, sitting temperatures in the 50s, 40s as well by the time it's over with. So just take those precautions by taking a light jacket. But otherwise, just go out and enjoy it. It's to be a really nice event. But we continue to watch the remnants advance southwest of New Orleans tomorrow morning. It's really just an area of shower activity, not really too much wind associated with it, anything like that. But we'll at least watch for some rain to affect especially the first coast of Florida, also down into central Florida. But here, not too big of a factor from Vance and any rainfall from that, just a few isolated showers, and the chances of that are a little bit higher in some more eastern counties like Taylor County. But the first coast, Jacksonville, could get some rain Saturday night, maybe half an inch to an inch there. Same with areas down toward Orlando and Tampa. Now, going ahead and looking at the forecast for tonight, though, it's going to be cool again, so make sure you take a jacket. Nice weather, but cool weather. 39 here in the metro area. Same with Albany, Georgia. Also Valdosta, sitting at 42 degrees in toward that area. And tomorrow, real nice day for the game against Virginia. For homecoming, in fact, we'll be sitting very nice temperature mid to upper 60, 68 here in the metro area. But right now, go ahead and take it back over to Shane and Christina.
Thanks, Casey. Now we're going to take a step back in time for a little bit. We're going to be talking about the homecomings of the past couple of years and how that weather is compared to the weather that we're going to be experiencing this weekend.
Yes, exactly. This is kind of a special, specific this day in weather history for not this specific date, but for FSU homecomings. On the end of October in 2012, we saw a high of 80 degrees and no rain. And last November, almost exactly a year ago, what was it we were seeing?
A high of 76 degrees and a little bit of rain going on, but nothing momentous. So to speak, but we are going to be seeing a much cooler homecoming actually this year.
Oh yeah, with a high of 68 degrees, we are cooler than either of the past 2 years. Now, we're going to match up more with 2012 in terms of that lack of rain, and more with 2013 in terms of a cooler temperature, but I expect a 100% chance of victory, just like the last 2 years.
I sure hope so. We're going to be facing off against Virginia. It's going to be a very exciting game. I unfortunately can't go, but you know, it is what it is.
Yes.
But we're going to send it out to Matt with our last local.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Let's take a look at that satellite right now. You can really see those clouds pushing on out of the area and just giving way to that beautiful sunshine. And we're going to be taking a look at that game day forecast here in just a minute. But for right now, as of 2:25 here on campus, it's 66 degrees, clear and comfortable. So like I said before, all this means just get outside and enjoy right now what is the homecoming parade. But tonight, Keenan Thompson's rolling into town for powwow here at FSU. currently around the area here in the Big Bend region. We're in the 60s. We're sitting pretty in the 60s. 66 degrees here in Tallahassee, 62 in St. Mark's with a little bit of breeze down here on the coast. So they're just a little bit cooler. But for the majority of the area, we're looking really comfortable. And if you're heading out on the water this weekend, doing some boating, doing some fishing, having just a great weekend outside, it's going to be a beautiful weekend for this. We got a little bit of choppiness down there on the water, maybe 2 to 3 feet of wave heights, and then that will be in protected waters, will be a little bit less wave height. But sunrise and sunset, we do want to point out that sunset you have been noticing across campus. The sun goes down a lot earlier now, so it'll be getting darker earlier, as we saw with that time change over the past week. So the sunset's going to be at 6:50. But if you're heading out tonight, anywhere or if you're heading out to see Keenan Thompson out here at Powwow, 39 degrees, you're going to want to bring your jacket because it's going to be a cool one out there. Clear skies and chilly temperatures. So it's going to be a cool one. But if you enjoy those chilly temperatures, then you're going to be loving this. But now we're moving on into the weekend because we've got a big game tomorrow. It is homecoming weekend and we're playing Virginia. We're going to start out the morning here in Tallahassee, rather, at 46 degrees. We're going to be creeping up there into the mid-60s, but I don't think we're going to be seeing those 70s here at all tomorrow. We may be staying in those 60s for tailgate time. And now here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for, the game time forecast here in Tallahassee. A cool 58 degrees at kickoff, and that's going to be those temperatures are going to tank right when at game time as the sun starts to set. So definitely bring a jacket, maybe wear some long pants. We could be seeing at the end of the game some temperatures in the low 50s, maybe upper 40s if we have a breeze, but for now we're not thinking too badly. But let's take a look at the week ahead. The outlook looks like this. 68 is our high tomorrow. Lows are going to be in those 30s again, and then we might see just a small chance of rain on Sunday with the approach of those remnants of what was Vance, but we may just see a couple sprinkles or two, nothing too crazy. And then Veterans Day out on Tuesday, your day off, your day to enjoy the sun because it's going to be sunny out there. And then the rest of your week looks like this. It's going to be beautiful, 40s, maybe upper 50s as low later in the week, but we could be seeing later on into the end of next week some really cool conditions. But guys, let's go ahead and wrap up the show.
Thanks, Matt. And to do just that and wrap up this Friday afternoon show, let's talk about what's coming up over the next 36 hours here at FSU.
We've got a big weekend for you guys. Powwow is tonight. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. So if you're going to be lining up for that show, make sure to bring a jacket as temperatures are going to start to drop right before the doors open. So just have that coat handy. Indeed.
The show will be inside, of course. So you won't need the jacket all night. But if you're getting there as early as possible to see Keenan Thompson, you'll want to have a light jacket because it will be cool. It'll be cool again for the game tomorrow.
It will. High of 68 tomorrow. Look at that forecast. So much sunshine for that game. But like Matthew said in his forecast, the sun is going to be going down right around kickoff, so those temperatures are going to start to drop.
Yeah, you probably won't need anything heavy in the way of jackets for kickoff, but keep them around because come 10:30, once we've defeated Virginia, we hope it will be cooler outside. Now, as always, if you like us, follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram. And watch anytime on livestream.com/FSU Weather.
So many different outlets to keep in touch with FSU Weather. If you have pictures to send in of the game tomorrow, maybe go ahead and do that.
Yes.
But as we wrap up today, have a great afternoon and enjoy the parade.
And go Noles.